The Federal Reserve has been a hidden force behind the US economy for decades. It has precise control over the money supply, interest rates, and liquidity flows, which, to be honest, influences markets and international finance. However, things have altered in the last few years. The emergence of cryptocurrencies, blockchain technology, and digital technology have put the conventional central banking systems to the test. One asset, XRP, sticks out among these developments. The FedNow program, formerly referred to as a digital dollar project, is being developed wholly on the XRP ledger, not only experimenting with blockchain according to Federal Reserve internal documents that have been released. If true, this discovery signifies a significant change in the way the most powerful central bank in the world views money, payments, and economic dominance. This integration has enormous ramifications. Conventional financial rails just cannot match the XRP ledger's scale, low transaction costs, and near-instant settlement. These attributes are essential for a digital currency that is meant to function on a national level. Well, they're necessary. According to internal accounts, the system was really built with a significant need for XRP coins in order to support transactions, validate ledgers, and, well, keep things stable. This is a systemic need that is truly ingrained in a country's operational architecture, in contrast to regular adoption. According to these technical outlines, XRP would be necessary as the foundation for every digital dollar that is exchanged within FedNow. Because of this, the token and the infrastructure is not only necessary, but to be honest, irreplaceable. There are severe economic repercussions. The materials portray $15,000 per token as the logical and, yes, inevitable result of such demand, which would push the price of XRP upwards. The strategic issues are just as significant as the financial ones. Historically, central banks have used tools like interest rates and asset purchases to govern monetary policy. However, as you are aware, these instruments are limited by time, friction, and middlemen. Much of this complexity is avoided by a digital dollar that operates on the XRP ledger, enabling real-time control over money flows, settlement, and liquidity. In order to maintain stability and avoid systemic shocks, the documents outline automatic liquidity adjustment systems, contingency plans, and integrated compliance measures. By using XRP as the backbone of the country's monetary infrastructure rather than as a speculative tool, the Federal Reserve transitions from a regulatory body to a real-time operator of a semi-autonomous financial network. To be honest, it is impossible to overestimate the geopolitical implications. The Federal Reserve places itself at the epicenter of a global financial revolution by integrating the US digital currency into the XRP ledger. Other countries that are currently experimenting with digital currencies issued by central banks might find themselves reacting to a practical system that can transfer value immediately across borders rather than to theory or policy. Currency stability, foreign reserves, and international trade all depend on an infrastructure that combines centralized supervision with decentralized assets. XRP is more than simply a token anymore. It's a strategic tool that may expand American financial power while also changing global liquidity processes. Okay, so this is a huge change that requires all international central banks, financial institutions, and multinational corporations to think about the ramifications of a digital dollar powered by XRP in real time. The technological aspect is just as interesting. As you can see from internal notes, the FedNow project uses XRP's consensus algorithm to provide fault tolerance, speed, and transaction integrity. With built-in redundancies to avoid downtime, nodes are made to authenticate transactions virtually instantly. Quite intriguing, isn't it? Sophisticated algorithms track transaction flows, identify irregularities, and dynamically modify liquidity. The digital dollar essentially transforms into an intelligent, responsive system that can respond to systemic stress, policy directions, and market occurrences without the need for human intervention. In my opinion, it's a significant advancement. Without XRP as its cornerstone, monetary mechanics would not have been able to undergo a revolution in which a central bank currency could function at the speed of information for the first time. The financial ramifications for holders of XRP are remarkable. The standard laws of market supply and demand are radically changed when a systemic demand is incorporated into the ledger. This demand is structural and required by the fundamental operations of a national currency system, in contrast to traditional adoption, which is optional and speculative. Traders, analysts, and organizations that are aware of this dynamic know that traditional price forecasts don't accurately reflect the state of the market. It is not a forecast that XRP will reach $15,000. According to the document's logic, it is a mathematical result of ledger mechanics, network scaling, and infrastructure demand. The story moves from rumor to policy-engineered certainty, from speculation to inevitability. the effects on society are just as significant. Ordinary people, companies, and institutions will engage with a system driven by a decentralized ledger when the digital dollar runs on XRP, bringing blockchain technology to daily financial life on a never-before-seen scale. The way people view money will change as a result of near-instantaneous, safe, and transparent payments, transfers, and settlements. Now that the foundation of the country's currency is not concealed within banks and servers, but rather functions on a publicly accessible ledger that is also subject to sophisticated algorithms and regulatory oversight, financial literacy, digital security, and technological accessibility all suddenly become issues of public interest. The Federal Reserve's choice to use XRP as leverage is a strategic example of how governance, technology, and finance have come together. To make sure the system can survive speculative attacks, market instability, or malevolent tampering, internal memoranda disclose risk mitigation procedures, backup plans, and multi-layered monitoring. Predictive analytics, automated liquidity controls, and smart contracts are all integrated into the ledger's operational framework to guarantee stability even in the most adverse circumstances. The idea of national monetary authority is being transformed from reactive to proactive, from static to dynamic, by this digital infrastructure which was constructed not only to work but also to last. The political aspect is just as important. The integration of the digital dollar into XRP creates a situation where national policy, market behavior, and technology infrastructure all converge in real time, even though central bank independence is a fundamental ideal. Policymakers need to take into consideration a system that has a global impact, partially automated mechanics, and a value that is influenced by network demand. Ultimately, the FedNow and XRP tale is one of inevitability, ambition, and invention. The Federal Reserve is redefining the norms of money, power, and influence by incorporating a decentralized ledger into the fundamental foundation of national currency. XRP, which is frequently written off as speculative or niche, turns become an essential part of a monetary network that has the power to redefine global liquidity, domestic finance, and strategic impact. The price of $15,000 per token is not a prediction, it is the natural outcome of technological innovation, operational necessity, and systemic adoption. The message is apparent to those who comprehend the size and extent of this integration. Digital, decentralized, and XRP-powered money is the way of the future. There won't be a revolution. It is already here, subtly changing national economic strategy and the global financial scene from the inside out. Please keep in mind that I do not hold a financial advisor license. These videos only contain content that is meant to be entertaining. Before making any financial decisions, I always advise viewers to do their own research and speak with experts. Many thanks for listening. Please remember to hit the subscribe button and give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Additionally, to be the first to know when I post new stuff, make sure you enable the alerts. I can't wait to see you again in the next video. Be careful.